Libra. Welcome to your June 2018 tarot reading. Now, I'm sorry this is a little bit delayed. But as I've said in the other readings, I don't really have, an astrological excuse. I just have time getting away with me being so busy with other things. But hopefully this is a great reading for you to make up for the lost time. While I was shuffling beforehand, though, one of the cards that popped out was the Death card. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio person, or you could be dealing with a very transformative situation. So a situation that has ended, obviously with the Death card, but that can also mean more so rebirth. So for the Death card, for people, a lot of the time it's scary because you think about things ending, but oftentimes we go through endings quite frequently. So you leave a job, or you leave a partner, or something small, like you leave a decision behind, or a way of thinking behind. The Death card is more to me about inner transformation. You see it with the Wheel of Fortune and stuff. It can be external circumstances, but I feel a lot like it's more to do with something that's going on within you. Now, the Grand Water Trine is affecting the water signs in an interesting way. For you, I feel with Venus in Cancer, you may be feeling a little bit more introverted with that type of energy, but then with Mars in Gemini, Mars in Aquarius, you could be feeling kind of, in terms of attraction, you may be attracted to a Gemini person, but you may be feeling like you have powers of attraction that maybe scare you a little bit. Like, I feel like you may have been attracting people that you maybe didn't think you could, which is strange for Libra, because Libra would typically be the most attractive energy, the most romantic energy. A lot of the time Libras are the ones that are graced with the real, amazing beauty. Of course all signs have beautiful, like they are beautiful, but Libra is typically known as the beautiful one, so kind of more an old school way. But let's see what we've got going on for you. I just feel a little bit like you may be surprising yourself with your powers of attraction, or the people that you're attracting. You may not have thought, I could get that person, but you do. Temperance is here, and it's crossed by the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is always that spilled over, crying over spilled milk energy, but the Temperance energy is more about finding a balance. So it's trying to get a different shift in perspective over a loss, or feeling like you've missed out on something. You're trying very hard to change your way of thinking, or find the grace and the beauty in that situation. For me, it sort of seems like it could be dealing with a Sagittarian person with Temperance, but you may also be dealing with a fire or water sign, because those are the two cups within it. So depending on your chart, if you're Libra with a lot of water in your chart, say you've got a lot of Scorpio, you could be dealing with a fire sign. But if you're Libra with a lot of fire in your chart, you could be dealing with a water sign. So it really depends. I feel for a lot of you like you're dealing with a Sagittarius person, and I feel like you may have a lot of water in your chart. Now the Page of Swords is in the past, Three of Pentacles. So I'm seeing growth. The Four of Wands is here. It's a commitment card. The Two of Wands is that typical making a decision energy, not being sure which path to take. It's coming to a fork in the road and wondering what each one will bring. Now, I feel a little bit like you're trying. Yeah, the Three of Swords is here as well. The Fool. So a lot of you want to begin anew. A lot of you want to begin a brand new adventure. And a lot of you do want to make a move, or you do want to try something completely different than what you're doing right now. Now, in this decision, you're just not sure because there's a lot of indecision. I feel like you may have received some bad news in the past that's made you feel a little bit differently about a particular person. And you don't know which way to go with it, because the Five of Swords is underneath, and underneath him is Knight of Wands. So there is, for a lot of you, you're dealing with a fire sign. That may have been not as reliable as you'd hoped. You may have not felt as supported as you would like to, or you may feel like their decision-making process was unfair and unjustified. Now, as a Libra, fairness is of big importance to you guys. And a Libra that acts in a way that's not fair is often a Libra that's completely off balance and is going through something at that moment. It's why so many Libras end up in the law and things. They like to, fight for the just cause. But it could easily have been you that was doing something sneaky or untoward, and you're feeling a lot like I feel like there's a call here to do the right thing. So some of you maybe have been put in a situation where you're not sure how to proceed because you want to proceed fairly. But on the other hand, it may be that there is a matter of family here. So it may be that some of you are dealing with a family law case and you don't know which way to proceed with this because you want to do the right thing, but at the same time you can see the dire consequences of each way forward. You may be dealing with a marriage that you're thinking about leaving, possibly for somebody else, and you're not sure how to proceed with that. Now, the end result here that I can see is the Fool card. So it's moving forward and it's beginning anew. You know, it's numbered 0. It's the first card of the whole Major Arcana story, the whole journey. And with the Two of Wands, the energy makes perfect sense in moving towards the Fool because one of them is the tried and tested method of going one way, but for most of you, you're going to be choosing the new way, trying something new. I do feel like a lot of you have been in a situation where your heart's been broken. And I think with the 2 pages here, again, as I said at the beginning of the reading, there's a fire and water mix here. I feel for a lot of you, some of you could be leaving a water sign or the memory of a water sign for the fire sign or vice versa. I'm feeling it more like you could be leaving the memory of a water sign for a fire sign, but the Three of Swords to me suggests a choice in between the two, especially with the Two of Wands here. But it may be that someone's been having to make that choice for you and you're feeling disappointed and you don't know where to go from there. For a lot of you, it involves a family situation. So it may also involve moving home, it may involve relocating, it may involve relocating to a different country and you're not sure if you want to stay or should you go. Should I stay or should I go? If you go, there will be trouble, and if you stay, there will be double. You know. So let's see. Oh. Okay. The Ten of Cups. So for some of you, this definitely is a family situation, and for others of you, you find someone that you're very, very happy with, but it may be at the extent of leaving somebody else, or maybe they have to leave somebody else. I feel like there's a catch with this. Wheel of Fortune is a change of fate. For some of you, it may be that you've met the person that you really want to be with, they seem perfect for you, and then you get told you're actually being moved with your job, or you get told you're not working there anymore, or you get told you have to relocate, to change home, and things seem to be intervening. There's an intervention of fate at hand here. Justice. So some of you could be dealing with a legal situation, particularly surrounding a child, because I do feel like family law is coming up quite strongly with this. The Empress, yeah, children. Some of you possibly have 3 kids. Some of you are possibly in a third-party relationship involving a Taurus, and for some of you, you are the third party. With Empress here, she's your energy. 6 of Cups. Okay, so there's definitely a family situation at play, but you could have met someone that you're really, really smitten with, because this is typically like a celebration or an engagement energy. Maybe some of you have gotten engaged and are having a wonderful time. The Moon card here, though, to me suggests that there's something going on that's not quite out in the open yet. So I do think this is involving a family situation. The 9 of Cups with the Page of Cups, 8 of Swords, Ace of Swords, and the outcome is the Star. Underneath we have the Magician. So Gemini energy is also quite strong. Aquarius energy is quite strong. You can be dealing with the other air signs. But for me, I sort of see like, you know, every spread has every sign effectively, so it just depends on the little ones that you see relevant for you. But with the Fool card and the Star card, I feel like making a brand new choice and making a brand new start is going to give you a renewed sense of hope and optimism. There seems to be that whatever decision you come to when you're at this fork in the road, you make the right one, because this Fool energy with the Star, it is quite fated, but it's you making the right choice for you. It's getting that sense of optimism back, finding that your wishes are more fulfilled. I do see some of you have met a really, really, really nice person. As I said before, it could be an earth sign, not an earth sign, a water sign, and a fire sign. It could be an earth sign, obviously, but I'm just leaning towards the fire and the water for this reading in particular. And as I say, it may be because as a Libra, you could have a lot of Scorpio in your chart. And it may also be because you're dealing with a water sign or a fire sign, or someone with lots of that in their chart, but it comes across as you've got, you know, a very warm, loving energy, because fire and water as a combination in the positive, to me, suggests warm and loving, so you're getting a very warm, loving person. But I do feel like there's a twist to this, or there's a catch to this. It's like maybe the person isn't available completely, and there has to be a stepping stone or something. Like, you have to figure this out and do it fairly. To me, there's a call here to be honest and do the right thing, because with the moon energy, there's this expression that the full moon tells all, or shows all. So when the next full moon comes up, which I believe is in Capricorn, I think it's the end of this month, the very end of this month. Yeah, I think it's the very end of this month. And you know, if you're doing something dishonest, or you're keeping something covert and hidden, you're gonna have to accept that it's gonna come out by the end of the month. That's just the way it's gonna go. You know, the truth always comes out in the end, so hiding it isn't the best option. People might be mad at you when you tell them, but it's better than hiding it and then finding out for themselves, because then they'll never know if you were going to be honest or not. But I do feel like some of you are having your dreams of motherhood fulfilled, which is nice. Those of you that are looking for that. So it's a hard decision to make. It comes with a lot of baggage. Ooh. The Devil and the King of Pentacles just came out, which is a Capricorn energy. So I feel like some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn person that you have to be honest with. And it may also be that there's jealousy surrounding this, or obsessive thought. Let's see. The Nine of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, yeah. So if you are in a situation where you're hiding something or having to lie and manipulate, it's not going to work out for you. Like, you have to be honest. You just have to be honest. That's just the way it goes. Ace of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. Yeah, there were temptations. I feel like some of you guys might have got involved in something out of character, or you may have found yourself in a situation you'd rather not be in, but the draw to the person it involves is too strong. Some of you are moving home for a while for work. Some of you may be moving back to where you're from for work. I can see times in the family home. Maybe some of you are taking a family holiday, or taking some time out from work in general, taking a break from the situation. Five of Wands. Yeah, there's going to be a bit of conflict about this. Underneath we have the Hierophant. So I'm sort of getting like, you want a romantic relationship with somebody, and I do feel like for a lot of you it's a fire sign, but it could be anybody, so don't hold me to that. I feel like there's a romantic conversation going on with this Ace of Swords and Knight of Cups, or you want a romantic conversation. I feel like you want to be honest, but there's been a question of timing. Like, the timing hasn't been right, or there's been strange changes of fate, strange changes of circumstance, and you just haven't been able to convey it, and it's eating you up a little bit. Like, you need to be able to talk about it, but you're still feeling like now is not the time. Now is the time. So in order to progress with your situation, you have to be honest. You know, you have to illuminate the things that were hidden within. If you have suspicions that someone is hiding something from you, I also feel like they're going to be coming to light by the end of the month. I do see a brand new start here, but it's not without conflict and competition. So I feel like someone might not. Someone may also want what you have, whether this is work related or whether this is romance related. Someone may also want what you've got. Someone may also want the same wishes as you. So there may be competition in the workplace, there may be competition for the person you want. I feel like an Aquarius person could be significant. Or maybe you're just finding you're in a position where you're not quite getting along with the people that you're working with, or your decision causes some discord. So I feel like your new journey is probably going to rub some people up the wrong way anyway, but you know, hiding it's not going to make it any better in the long run, because it's going to come out inevitably. I do feel like some of you have been involved with a water sign where it seemed like the full picture, but maybe it's a lot of work. It could come with a lot of baggage. Maybe they're leaving somebody else for you, or maybe you have been with a water sign that's been giving you everything and it's not enough. I feel kind of favorably about this guy here, this water sign. I'm not going to say Scorpio energy, but there's really no Scorpio. Well, Judgment's here. I feel like some of you may be dealing with a third party situation with a Scorpio. Some of you may have hurt a Scorpio, and they're getting a bit of anxiety about the situation. So if you're dealing with a Scorpio that you're hiding something from, do tell them, because they always know. The not knowing the full story is worse for a Scorpio person than actually being told. So I feel like you have to be honest with a Scorpio person in your life, because you could be really harming them. Like, I feel like they've put a lot of effort into this. If you're dealing with a Scorpio that you're separated from, I feel like they still care very much about you, and they sort of are probably hoping for some kind of reunion or some kind of apology if you've hurt them. But I see a brand new start for you. You may be deciding to start over with somebody, but for the most part, I feel a lot like you guys are choosing between two different paths, and it could be two different people, and one could be a water sign, one could be a fire sign. But you know, I see you sort of going in the direction of more Aries, Aquarius energy, fire energy, airy energy. But a lot of you quite simply are just embarking on a new adventure that doesn't involve leaving anybody. You know, some of you are single and voyaging off into the unknown. Some of you are with somebody new and they're supporting your journey. It really is different for everybody here. But I do sense a little bit of inner conflict surrounding who you're hurting or who's hurting you. And I feel like it needs to be illuminated for things to progress. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Libra. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you in July. Bye.